2. Cora stinted, and Cora saved, and wore the Studevance's old clothes, and ate the Studevance's leftover food, and brought her pay home. Brothers and sisters grew up. The boys, lonesome, went away as far as they could from Melton. One by one, the girls left too, mostly in disgrace. "Ruining my good name," Pa Jenkins said. "Ruining my good name. They can't go out burying but what they come back in disgrace." There was something about the cream and tanned Jenkins girls that attracted the white farmhands. Even Cora, the humble, had a lover once. He came to town on a freight train, long ago now, and worked at the livery stable. That was before autos got to be so common. Everybody said he was an IWW. Cora didn't care. He was the first man and the last she ever remembered wanting. She had never known a colored lover. There weren't any around. That was not her fault. This white boy, Joe, he always smelled like horses. He was some kind of foreigner, had an accent and yellow hair, big hands and gray eyes. It was summer. A few blocks beyond the Studevance's house, meadows and orchards and sweet fields stretched away to the far horizon. At night, stars in the velvet sky, moons sometimes, crickets and katydids and lightning bugs, the scent of grass. Cora waiting. That boy, Joe, a cigarette spark far off, whistling in the dark. Love didn't take long. Cora, with the scent of the Studevance's supper about her and a cheap perfume. Joe, big and strong and careless, as the horses he took care of, smelling like the stable. Ma would quarrel because Cora came home late, or because none of the kids had written for 3 or 4 weeks, or because Pa was drunk again. Thus the summer passed, a dream of big hands and gray eyes. Cora didn't go anywhere to have her child, nor try to hide it. When the baby grew big within her, she didn't feel it was a disgrace. The Studevances told her to go home and stay there. Joe left town. Pa cussed. Ma cried. One April morning, the kid was born. She had gray eyes, and Cora called her Josephine after Joe. Cora was humble and shameless before the fact of the child. There were no Negroes in Melton to gossip, and she didn't care what the white people said. They were in another world. Of course, she hadn't expected to marry Joe or keep him. He was of that other world, too. But the child was hers, a living bridge between two worlds. Let people talk. Cora went back to work at the Studevants, coming home at night to nurse her kid and quarrel with Ma. About that time, Mrs. Art Studevant had a child too, and Cora nursed it. The Studevants' little girl was named Jessie. As the two children began to walk and talk, Cora sometimes brought Josephine to play with Jessie, until the Studevants objected, saying she could get her work done better if she left her child at home. "Yes, ma'am," said Cora. But in a little while, they didn't need to tell Cora to leave her child at home, for Josephine died of whooping cough. One rosy afternoon, Cora saw the little body go down into the ground in a white casket that cost 4 weeks' wages. Since Ma was ailing, Pa, smelling of liquor, stood with her at the grave, the two of them alone. Cora was not humble before the fact of death. As she turned away from the hole, tears came. But at the same time, a stream of curses so violent that they made the grave tenders look up in startled horror. She cussed out God for taking away the life that she herself had given. She screamed, "My baby! God damn it, my baby! I bet her and you take her away!" She looked at the sky where the sun was setting and yelled in defiance. Pa was amazed and scared. He pulled her up on his rickety wagon and drove off. clearing down the road between green fields and sweet meadows, and that stretched away to the far horizon. All through that ugly town, Cora wept and cursed, using all the bad words she learned from Pa and his drunkenness. The next week she went back to the Studevants. She was gentle and humble in the face of life. She loved their baby. In the afternoons on the back porch, she would pick little Jessie up and rock her to sleep, burying her dark face in the milky smell of the white child's hair.